Project 2. In this photograph, I'm going to talk about three concepts: tone and color, focus, and time. First, let's discuss the thing itself. The photograph is of a desert landscape. This photograph of the desert landscape is showing railroad tracks going off into the horizon next to a cliff and alongside of a river is reminiscent of the F-64 Club and specifically Mr. Ansel Adams' pictorials. The tone and color of this photo accurately depicts the landscape to us and pulls our eyes around the photo to describe both the scene and the details. The light sky immediately draws us to the contrast with the darkness that is the cliff to the right and then towards the light of the river. The color of the train tracks and the light splotches that are the railroad ties and the lack of vegetation allows us to linger momentarily. But then we're drawn towards these distant mountains and then back to the cliff, which uses its shadows to give us both a sense of detail and mass. This coloring and tone directs the eyes of the viewer around the photo. The contrast sets the mood of desolation and vastness, and yet provides a measure of tranquility as evidenced by these still waters. There's significant contrast between the sky and the earth, and the river and the railroad tracks, giving us great horizontal plane to reference. Next, we consider the focus of the photograph. There's great depth of field, here with the focus extending out towards the horizon, which lends to the 3D quality of the photo. The sharp details of the cliff and the dropping focus in the distant mountains provides us with a wide plane of focus centered on these railroad tracks, which provides the visual focal point. The plane of focus splits the photo in the middle while not providing a symmetrical photo, but giving us an exceptional sense of balance. When we think of time in relation to this photo and the lack of motion, perfectly defining still time. While modernist in depiction, there's a strong sense of pictorialism, but the level of detail tells us it is not intended to mimic a landscape painting. This lack of any sense of motion or time, as depicted by the mirror-like smoothness of the river, tends or lends to a sense of timelessness rather than a captured moment in time. There is no decisive moment. There is, however, a decided completeness in capturing both time and space through the vantage point of the photographer.